All right. This is Jeremy Smith, joined now by Faulkner men's basketball assistant coach Drew Wilson as we ready for tip between Carver Bible College out of Atlanta and Faulkner. The Eagles to this point unbeaten, coming off of a big win on the road at Thomas Tuesday against Thomas University. Let's start with this, Drew, because we haven't had a chance to catch up with you on air about this. Big wins for you guys, University of Cumberland's and University of Pikeville, beating the number 16 and number 8 teams in the country. That puts you on the map at this level, beating these ranked teams. How important is that?
Oh, it's a huge deal at this level. You know, a lot of the stuff is determined by your ranking, and national tournament stuff at the end of the year is all determined on your ranking and where you're at in the country. And you know, they don't see games. Games aren't on TV like they are at some higher levels. And so what they know is what you do. Do you win? Do you get beat? What do you do? So you win those 2 games, and it just gives you an awesome opportunity to propel your team forward going to the deal. But what you can't do, what we've talked to our team a lot about, is you can't go win those 2 games and then drop some other games that you're not supposed to drop, and that just kind of undoes all that work. So, you know, we that was awesome. It was great for our team to win those games, but we've got to move forward. We've got to keep improving and keep getting better and win games like today.
You got a guy in Renee Scott who's on an absolute tear right now. He had 20 the other night against Thomas, had over 20 in each of those games in the SSAC Mid-South Challenge. Yeah. Renee can do a lot of things, but what is going right for him right now in this stretch?
Well, he's just so hard to keep in front for guys. He's just so quick, and he's little, and I know Coach has told you he's worked so hard on his shooting all summer long. He's gotten better at that, so now all of a sudden you can't play off of him, and he's so fast to the rim. He's just doing a really good job of putting a lot of pressure on teams to the rim, and then he's finishing. He's making free throws at the free throw line when he does get fouled. So he's been playing really, really well. Hopefully he can keep that going.
You're sitting at 5-0 right now, and it would be really easy to get comfortable, but it's early, and I know you guys see a lot that you say, man, we've got to be better at this, or things are going to go bad. What's that thing that you look at right now and you say, man, we got to be better?
We've got to be better at field goal defense. We've scored the ball really well. Where teams are up in the mid-40, close to 45% on us against us, and we traditionally hold teams under 40 and down in the mid-30s. So we've got to get better at that. We've got to do a better job of rebounding the ball. You know, we haven't out-rebounded anybody. We've out-rebounded teams, but not by a lot. We've got to stretch that margin out a little better. We have the ability to do that. We have big guards on our team. We have, you know, Milan's going to get you 7 or 8 a game. CJ on the wing is going to get you almost 7. So you got to have the ability to do that, and so we really challenged our guys today to do that.
Yeah, and building off that, you know what you have in Renee Scott and Sean Edwards. You know what you have in Milan Skundrich and C.J. Jones. You're still trying to identify what's going on in the post.
Yeah.
What, is that going to be something that changes on a nightly basis, or do you think you've got a guy that's going to emerge down there?
Well, right now it's not. We've got 3 guys. We've got Adnan, we've got Jacob, and we've got Luca all playing that spot, playing 12, 13 minutes apiece. And, you know, right now nobody's gone and won, and we've told them nobody's gone and taken that spot over and made it there. So until they do, we're going to play, you know, 3 guys, 12 to 13 minutes. We'll have 15 fouls down there, and they're hacks anyway. So we got plenty of time to plenty of fouls to give down there. So, you know, until that happens, we're okay with it as a coaching staff. They seem to be okay with it right now. But if somebody goes and wins it, they'll go and win it.
All right, man. So the last thing for you, and you know, Carver is a team. They come in at 0-8. They are athletic. You don't take anybody lightly. But you got a quick turnaround to Thursday, and we're in conference play on November the 29th with a tough Bethel team.
Yeah.
What are you working on today? What do you need to see today to have you ready for Thursday night?
We've challenged our team to hold them to 37%. We've challenged to out-rebound them by 10. We've challenged them to hold them under 65 today. So we're going to try to get better at those things. The best teams will get better in games like this. Again, they're 0-8, but I'm telling you what, you look at their schedule, there's a lot of teams be 0-8 playing that schedule. A lot of teams in the country be 0-8. They've been on the road to a lot of Division I schools, and just in the NAIA, they've played William Carey, nationally ranked. They've played Life, who's always really good. And they've played Dillard, who's really, really good. So, man, it's 0-8, but it's not, you know, it's not as bad as 0-8 sometimes is. So, so they are capable. But if we do what we're supposed to do and really rise to the challenge we've given our guys, we should win the game today.
So fantastic. good luck to you guys, man. We look forward to talking about a win here in about a couple hours.
Absolutely, hope so. Thanks, and go Eagles.
Go Eagles. That's Drew Wilson, the men's assistant basketball coach for Faulkner University, bringing back in David Turner now as we get ready to preview this game with Carver. 4:44 showing on the clock as tip-off approaches here. David, you did some digging on this Carver team. Again, 0-8. The record isn't pretty, but as Drew said, they've played some good teams. What have you seen in your research on this Carver team?
Well, what little I was able to find, it was that they're, like Drew was saying, they're an athletic bunch. These guys, I think we're gonna see a team that comes up and down with some pace, looking to move the ball, and will get after Faulkner defensively this afternoon. So I think it's going to be a little bit of an interesting matchup, at least to get this thing kicked off and kind of see how Faulkner responds as we jump here in just about 4 minutes. It does look like Carver will be without their leading scorer, Jalen Strong. He was averaging about 13 points a game. I think he has been a scratch here today, so this is going to be interesting to see how Carver makes up for that loss of their leading scorer right there, see who steps up today to make up for that difference.
Absolutely, and that is a big loss for Carver. We can tell you there are 5 starters for the Cougars of Carver: Antonio Gardner, Markel Gibson, Glenn Sims, Paul Hepburn, and Rayford Washington are the starting 5, the expected starting 5 for Carver today. Again, their roster not out online right now, so it's hard to find a lot of information on these guys. I'd love to tell you he's a 6'3" guard from somewhere in the world, but I can't tell you that because none of that information is out there.
We know for a fact, at least, he is from somewhere in the world.
You think you know.
You would think.
You think you know. So for Faulkner, though, we will talk about this. We mentioned it in the pregame interview with Drew. Renee Scott is on an absolute tear right now. Had 20 the other night at Thomas. Now at 3 straight games, Renee has had at least 20 points in 3 straight. So when you look at Renee, you know that he can handle the scoring burden. You know Milan Skundrich can lead you on any given night. What are you looking for out of this Faulkner team to kind of bring a little more balance to the offensive side of the ball?
Well, honestly, this Faulkner team has 3 to 4 guys that you can expect to get in the double digits every night. C.J. Jones had the huge explosion coming out of the gate with 30 points, and he's been fairly consistent scoring the basketball. He's averaging over 10 a game, somewhere around 15 if I remember right. Yeah, about 15 points a game, and Sean Edwards has been scoring about in double digits every game. So there's 4 or 5 guys on this roster who can put the ball in the basket for this Eagle team. Yeah,
you've got 4 guys averaging double figures right now for this Faulkner team. Sean Edwards is averaging 10. C.J. Jones averaging 15. Milan Skundrich averaging 15.4. Renee Scott right at 20 points per game at this juncture. So the other thing that kind of jumps out at me, Faulkner has been a pretty good rebounding team, but Milan Skundrich averaging 7 is your leader. They've got to find more, and he's a small forward. They've got to find more out of the bigs in terms of either scoring and or rebounding. Like somebody's got to take over that position, and I think that's going to be the thing to watch over the course of this season.
It is, especially these coming up games, getting into conference play. Is there going to be, as Drew alluded to, is there going to be one of those guys who really takes that step to establish himself in that spot and in the front court here for this Eagle basketball team? And one thing that I do find interesting about this Faulkner basketball club is the second half scoring. When you look at it, they are outscoring their opponent 229 to 185 early here in the season, and that's we're pushing 40 points right there, a little more, as a scoring differential right there. So that makes a huge difference coming down the stretch for this ball club.
About ready to tip it off here. 20 seconds showing before we get ready to go on this Saturday after Thanksgiving. The official opening to the holiday season happening a couple of days ago. So there's an Iron Bowl and there's Christmas music and there's all sorts of things, but here we have got Faulkner University basketball against Carver. Faulkner rocking out with the gray jerseys, the gray uniforms tonight, so a little bit different of a look for the Eagles. Carver will be in the navy. We'll see if there are any changes to the expected starting lineup. Antonio Gardner is announced. Markel Gibson, Glenn Sims, Paul Hepburn, and should be 55, Rayford Washington here. And there we go. Now for the Eagles, the starting lineup. Renee Scott, well, of course. Sean Edwards, no changes so far, David. All right, so
5 expected starters for the Eagles here this afternoon of Halilovic, Edwards, Jones, Skundrich, and Scott.
So the expected starting 5 here. Monte Sanford, assistant coach, makes his way down the scorers table and welcomes everybody. I love it, man. I hope that you're having a blast. This is a fun team to watch.
It is. They have been, and we'll see what they've got for us here this afternoon against what Drew alluded to is this lively Carver team coming in here to Tyne Davis Gymnasium this afternoon.
So Milan Skundrich goes to the circle to tip against Paul Hepburn. We can tell you that Skundrich is listed at 6'6", so looking at it, Hepburn's got to be about 6'7". He tips it out, and it is controlled. A lot of length, surprisingly, I think, for Carver. Yeah. We don't have heights and weights, but they have got some length. Look at Antonio Gardner, number 0, and how long his arms are.
Yeah, and that's what I noticed as soon as I walked in the gym was that just length that they had.
Controlling the basketball on the right side. Antonio Gardner's got it up top, sends it over to Rayford Washington on the left. Rayford Washington pulls the 3, contested rebound, C.J. Jones. Sean Edwards will press the issue across the timeline. He dribbles it back out. Adnan Halilovic, top of the key.
Carver coming out in that man-to-man look just as Faulkner did to begin the game.
Sends it down low. Skundrich back up top. Halilovic over to Sean Edwards. Shot clock at 13. He dribbles around to the right. Ball sticking a little bit. Gets it out to Renee Scott. He pulls the 3. Yes. Picking up right where he left off.
Gets that lid off the rim early here for the Eagles.
Sends it down low to Hepburn on the block. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound, Milan Skundrich. Over to Sean Edwards across the timeline to Renee Scott. Renee Scott dribbles it across the top of the key. Motions for somebody to move. Gets it to C.J. Jones. Jones pulls the long 3. In and out. Couldn't have gotten any lower and still made it out of there. 18:37 to go in the first half. 3-0 Faulkner lead. Right wing back up top to number 4, Glenn Sims. Sims over to Hepburn. Rayford Washington left wing. Washington D'd up by Renee Scott. Finds top of the key to Glenn Sims, and a travel called against Carver.
Give that turnover to number 4, Glenn Sims, and Faulkner will inbound. Skundrich will trigger it. And we're coming back the other way.
Sean Edwards across the timeline. Hands off C.J. Jones. Renee Scott works it back around to Sean Edwards. Pull up 3. Yes!
Nice use of the screen there by Edwards to get that open look right there for 3.
Sends it down left block. Rayford Washington thought about it, looking for help. Renee Scott forces him to do something with it. He turns around, drives in against all that traffic. You're going to get a foul call on the floor against Renee Scott. Milan Skundrich is debating it, but he won't win that debate.
Not much to debate. I saw a lot of slapping as he was getting to the basket.
Yeah. He drove it in amid 4 Eagles, and that was a bit of a bailout foul.
Yeah.
Rayford Washington's first free throw is good. no rebounders up there for Carver. They must have a lot of confidence. Well, one rebounder, a lot of confidence in Rayford Washington. He makes the second one.
Or a lot of confidence in that one rebounder.
Yeah, that's right. Handoff C.J. Jones out to Renee Scott. Scott gets a screen from Halilovic, works around to the left, looks for help, finds it in the person of Skundrich. Down low to Halilovic, back to Skundrich, drives it in with the left hand layup, and that was pretty.
Great pass by Halilovic there to the cutting Skundrich. A little bit of that Serbian connection this team has.
Rayford hands it off, steal by Halilovic. Halilovic out to Edwards, over to Renee Scott, back out to Edwards, back to Scott. Two-man game, three-pointer, yes. 11-2 is the lead for Faulkner. 17 minutes to go here, just over 17 in the first half. Glenn Sims with the basketball, face up with C.J. Jones. Sends it over to Antonio Gardner. Gardner, turnaround jumper, loses control. That's a turnover. He's debating it, but
yeah,
no,
you can't do that.
You can't argue that one.
Can't do that.
You're just not allowed. The rules say no. That was I think he head faked himself that time. Sean Edwards with the ball coming across the timeline. Hands it off C.J. Jones, over to Renee Scott, back to Sean Edwards. Look at the screen game working right now. Over to Skundrich. Skundrich puts it on the deck, back out to Edwards. His three, no. Rebound fought for, controlled by Hepburn.
He missed that shot, but great ball movement there to get a wide open look. Mark Scott.
Down low, layup, Antonio Gardner. Give the assist to Markel Gibson, and one.
Foul will go on number 20, Milan Skundrich.
So Scott and Skundrich each with a foul in the early going. Second trip to the free throw line for the Cougars. It's an 11-4 lead. Antonio Gardner to the line to try to cut it. His shot up and good.
Gardner would be their second leading scorer on the season. He's averaging just over 9 a game coming into today's ball game.
Skundrich head fake out to C.J. Jones. His three, no good. Rebound controlled by number 3, Markel Gibson. He pushes the issue, passes it down low to Hepburn, right hand up and good. So Gibson with a quick assist. Paul Hepburn's layup. The lead is down to 4. Renee Scott working around the screen of Halilovic, looks for help, or Sean Edwards rather. Sean Edwards gives it up, gets it back, now over to Scott. Scott's three, no. Rebound, tip in, no by Skundrich. Controls it, puts it up, good. 13-7 is the lead. We got wholesale changes coming. 5 Eagles to the scorer's table.
It's a good follow by Skundrich there on the offensive glass.
Rayford Washington, now it's reset up to Markel Gibson. Rayford Washington, three, no. Rebound, C.J. Jones. Sean Edwards across the timeline. Eyes up, sends it out, left wing. C.J. Jones, three, yes, no. I thought that one was going for sure. He was right on line with it. 13-7 is the lead. Markel Gibson loses it into the backcourt. He'll chase it down. Hands it off to Glenn Sims. Sims over to Rayford Washington. Washington D'd up tightly by Sean Edwards. Washington up to Antonio Gardner. His three no good. Rebound Halilovic out to Renee Scott. Renee Scott sends it to Milan Skundrich. Skundrich, a little bit of a head fake, and then that was pretty.
Was good shot there by Skundrich. Get himself open with that little head fake.
15-7 is the advantage for Faulkner here. 14:47 to go in the opening half. Rayford Washington double teamed over there. Works around Halilovic. Steps out of bounds. So wholesale changes. Garrett Sanderson checks in. Number 34, Jacob Spence checks in. Number 14, Marco Kosic. Number 12, Nate Bradley. And it looked like
number
Trace
2,
Hill.
Trace Hill.
Yeah. So a line change for Faulkner. The starters come out and get a breather. Milan Skundrich walks by us speaking Serbian. I have no idea if he's happy or not. Ball inbounded to Marco Kosic. Kosic over to Hill, swings it out to Bradley. Bradley to Hill. Hill over to Spence. Spence finds Kosic, back to Bradley, and he's called for a walk. Do you like the ball screen, the movement they've got going here?
I do. I do like the ball screen movement that they're doing. Ball's not necessarily sticking. It's had a couple of possessions where it has, but they're really getting out, moving the ball, good player movement, which is what I'm sure Coach Sanderson wants to see.
Left wing. Now back up top. They've reset it for Glenn Sims. Over to Markel Gibson.
Faulkner still coming out in this man look here with the second unit.
Murdy Mungozi is the sub in for Carver. That's number 21. Easy for me to say. Steps into a three, does Gardner. It misses wildly. Faulkner's got the basketball. They'll call shot clock violation.
And look how long Mungozi is.
Yeah. Murdy Mungozi.
This is where I wish we had heights and all that stuff. That kid is long.
Well, and that wingspan, he can just about scratch his knees standing up. Like he
really
has
can.
long arms. A pass deflected, controlled by Carver. Coming across the timeline is Glenn Sims. Sends it out left wing. Chris Iverson pulls it, misses. Rebound controlled by Jacob Spence. Kosic comes the other way. Hands it off Garrett Sanderson. Pull up jumper good. 17-7 is the lead for Faulkner. Garrett Sanderson resumes defensive position here. Left wing drive. Mungozi, no good. Rebound Marco Kosic. He'll come across the timeline. Splits the defense, goes all the way in, and look at the reach by Mungozi to slap that down. You're going to get a call on the floor against Chris Iverson.
I'm glad he's not number 3, otherwise I'd probably end up with the Freudian slip saying Allen Iverson most of the night.
To the line goes Trace Hill. Nope. Not shooting. They did call it on the floor. It'll be inbounded by Garrett Sanderson. I'm going to wake up here in a minute, I promise you. Marco Kosic, top of the key. Swings it out right wing. Garrett Sanderson, 3. No. Rebound Jacob Spence, and a foul on the floor. Spence has that tough task of containing that length of Murdy Mungozi. Got called for the push-off that time.
I don't know if it was necessarily a push-off or just the happenstance of where the ball came off the rim, and it looked as if he were pushing off as much for Spence on that particular occasion.
Rayford Washington with a basketball, face up with Marco Kosic. Gives it off to Iverson. Iverson, Gardner down low, tipped alive. Marco Kosic with the ball.
Good defense by Spence there.
And a nice steal by Gardner. He's in the open court. Bradley going to try to stop ball. And look at the shake and bake from Gardner and one. Gardner with a great job. He got Bradley on skates and went right at him.
That's where Bradley, you've got to make the decision beforehand, either foul him early or foul him hard enough he's not going to be able to hit the shot. Make him earn 2 from the free throw line right there.
So Gardner goes to the line. As you said, David, he's their second leading scorer. Their leading scorer, a surprise scratch tonight. So Gardner probably going to take over a lot of that scoring burden. Looks like in the game now is number 15, Julian Fuller.
And on the season, he's a 79% free throw shooter, so he's pretty good once he gets to that free throw line, Jeremy.
Cuts it to 17-10. Across the timeline is Marco Kosic. Kosic out to Trace Hill. Right wing Garrett Sanderson. Drives baseline. Foul call on number 15, Julian Fuller. Welcome to the game. You're now on the stat sheet.
It's a good take by Sanderson right there. Just get the ball, go straight to the baseline.
Bradley is fouled. Called for a travel. Fuller contacted him while he's in the air, and they called the travel. So apparently there's a buy one, get one free sale on fouls.
Fuller got the bell out on that one.
Yeah. 17-10 is the Faulkner lead. Nate Bradley just lucky to land on his feet that time.
He really was.
Rayford Washington left corner, back up to Gardner. Gardner D'd up by Hill, picks up a screen, works to his left. Sanderson slaps at it, can't get it. Hepburn with the ball, pull up free throw line, no good. Rebound by Marco Kosic, hands it off to Bradley. Bradley across the timeline. Garrett Sanderson quickly into the corner. Back out to Bradley, over to Sanderson, doesn't pull it. Back out to Bradley again, back to Sanderson again. A lot of two-man game. Here's Bradley. Now he swings it over to Trace Hill. Trace Hill drives in, has it knocked away, and there's a foul call. Chris Iverson's second foul. So a media timeout. We'll take it with them. This is the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle basketball.
Nobody does service like Don Duncan's All-American Auto and Tire. That's not just hyperbole. With every oil change, they'll rotate your tires and vacuum out your car. That, Faulkner fans, is service. Show your Faulkner ID and get 10% off your purchase. Don Duncan's All-American Auto and Tire. Downtown Montgomery, at the corner of Bell and Vaughn, and in Millbrook. Wherever you are in your financial needs, Guardian Credit Union can probably help. From auto to home to signature loans, Guardian has the best rates you'll find anywhere. They even do credit cards with no annual fees. Join today and get your Eagle credit or debit card. With locations all over Montgomery, Guardian Credit Union is here to serve.
From hand-breaded chicken fingers and fried chicken to delicious sides and scratch-made biscuits, Jack's has all the ingredients to make your next tailgate legendary. Football is just better with Jack's, so order ahead at eatatjacks.com and score big this season.
All right. What'd you hear Coach Sanderson chiding his team about there, David?
Biggest thing he was saying is
Trace Hill's first free throw up and good.
quit with the unforced turnovers, obviously, but number two is let's move the ball from side to side. Let's not this just back and forth between two guys. Let's pass the ball to both sides of the court, make this defense move and work.
19-10 is the lead as Trace Hill drops in a couple of free throws. Marco Kosic will D up Rayford Washington, who gives it off to Gardner. Gardner over to Markel Gibson. Back out to Jacob Fuller. Or Julian Fuller. One of those Fullers. Down low to Hepburn.
Got the travel.
And he gets called for the travel before he can swing it down to a cutting Fuller. A lot of run for the second unit here in the early going. Hill gets it into Kosic. Kosic across the timeline. Kosic works around to the right, picks up a screen from Hill, gives it back up to Hill. Hill pulls the three. Yes. Faulkner, very effective from deep early.
Good shot by Trace Hill right there.
Left wing is Gibson. Looking for Gardner, can't find him. 17 seconds on the shot clock. From the volleyball line starts the move for Gardner, swings it down low to a cutting Fuller. No, rebound cleared by Trace Hill out to Kosic.
Great pass by Gardner in there, though, even though the shot was missed.
Hill stumbling, gives off to Bradley. His three rims out. Starters back to the scorer's table mostly. Across the timeline comes Gardner. Gardner pulls it, no. Rebound, Marco Kosic got up high for that one. Over to Bradley. Bradley pushes the issue, swings it over. What a pass to Sanderson. Sanderson out to Kosic. He pulls it. No. Rebound tipped alive by Trace Hill. Boy, he does a lot of little things.
He has, especially this first half here.
Trace Hill, right side. Sends it over to Jacob Spence. Left wing, Garrett Sanderson, three. No. Tipped alive, now controlled by Rayford Washington. Washington across the timeline. Face up with Kosic, over to Gibson. Gibson, right wing, Fuller. Fuller working around to his left, gets it up top to Gardner, D'd up by Hill. Gardner sends the easy pass over to Hepburn, his jumper good. 21-12, or 22-12 is now the score, 9:45 to go in the opening half. Trace Hill, left wing. Bradley, over to Hill. Right wing, Kosic, up top, Bradley. Pulls it, no. Rebound, Sanderson put back good, 24-12.
It's probably the easiest rebound Garrett Sanderson has ever had in his life on the offensive end.
I would imagine so. Gardner gets it from Washington, looking for someone. Sends it, and it's deflected. Bradley with the steal, 2-on-1. He takes it all the way himself and gets it to go. 26-12. Faulkner's opened it up to 14 here with 9:06 to go in the opening half. Kosic will meet Washington at the timeline. He'll challenge him from there. Left wing now, Fuller working against Bradley. Bradley goes around to the left, gets a little bit of a screen from Hepburn, gives it off to Hepburn, gets it right back. Fuller pull-up jumper, no. Rebound Spence, out to Bradley. The Eagles want to run with it. Bradley over to Hill, thought about the three, gave it up back to Bradley. Bradley splits the defense, right hand, good.
Nice take by Bradley, getting into that lane. He could have dumped it off to the corner three for Sanderson. Was able to take it himself and get the easy two.
28-12, the ball movement and the pace. Big for Faulkner. This is the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle basketball.
I don't know if there's anything I like better than good barbecue. Full Moon has the best barbecue and best smoked wings in town, and those onion rings are out of this world. Go by after the game and use your ticket for a buy one get one free barbecue sandwich. Say hi to Chris in person at 7660 East Chase Parkway or give him a call at 334-676-5999.
Faulkner up 28-12, 8:37 to go here in the opening half. David, pace and ball movement, the story of the game so far for the Eagles.
Pace and ball movement, and I think we've seen Carver the last few possessions. They tried to match that pace here to start the game, but the last few possessions they've kind of slowed it down a little bit, trying to be a little bit more methodical at least as they get into their offense.
Gardner, left wing, Washington. Washington face up with Renee Scott. Gets it down low. Mongazi has it blocked by Skundrich. C.J. Jones loses control out of bounds. The five on the floor, Edwards, Scott, Skundrich, Jones, and Luka Dimitrovic. So all four Serbian players have played now. First time we've been able to call the name of Jesse Haynes, who is in for Carver, as well as number 14, Marco Hughley, or Hughley. What are we going with there? I'm going to Hughley.
I've got Hughley.
Going Hughley. Hughley with it, and it's blocked by Dimitrovic. Gets his own rebound, sends it to Rayford Washington. Runner from the free throw line won't go. It's tipped alive, and it's just chaos right now. Rayford Washington called for the travel. The whistle's going to slow this nonsense down. Just a lot of action and nothing accomplished in that sequence.
Spinning the tires on that possession there.
Sean Edwards with the ball. He'll come across the timeline. Rayford Washington will shadow him. Works around to the right, splits the defense, kicks it out to Renee Scott. He says, no, I'll take it anyway. His three no good. Tipped alive. Sean Edwards with it.
Interesting matchup. Carver's put number 0, Antonio Gardner, out on Renee Scott, so he has a height disparity there.
Yeah, shut down that length.
Yeah.
With that length. Sends it down to Skundrich, out to Jones. He thought about pulling it, didn't do it. Back out to Skundrich. Skundrich, ISO, pull up, no good. David, on this possession, you didn't have that ball movement and any of the screening or anything that you'd seen.
Yeah, you didn't have the player movement on that possession that we've been seeing the last several.
Yeah, a little bit of ISO on that possession, and it did not go well for the Eagles. 28-12 is the lead, 7 minutes to go in the half. Renee Scott will meet Rayford Washington at the timeline. Washington working left-handed. Now he changes it up a little bit. He'll go around to his left. Scott shadows him. Gives it up to Gardner. Gardner back down to Washington. Turnaround jumper, no. Rebound controlled underneath by Hughley. Puts it up, no. Rayford Washington fought for it. It goes out of bounds.
And I feel that's going to be an interesting matchup for us to watch on Carver's offensive end. As Skundrich is guarding number 0, Gardner, for Carver. I think that's a good matchup. Going to be something that we can at least watch for most of this game, as those two will cut. Skundrich will be on Gardner.
Skundrich out right wing to Renee Scott. Renee Scott, C.J. Jones. C.J. Jones loses the handle. Dimitrovic finds it. Left wing Edwards goes baseline all the way in, up and under with the right hand. 30-12.
Use that rim as your friend and lay it up on the other side.
Rayford Washington gets the entry pass. You're going to get a foul on Luka Dimitrovic. Luka says, my hands are up.
Yeah, but you're leaning in with your body.
That's right. Sorry, Luka, not allowed. 30-12 is the lead, 6:07 to go in the opening half. Gardner inbounds underneath the baseline to Rayford Washington. Pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound, C.J. Jones at Sean Edwards. He'll go across the timeline. Long pass to Skundrich, tips it back to Halilovic. Halilovic thought about the three, gives it up to Edwards. Left wing, Renee Scott. He jab steps and now gives it up to Skundrich. Down on the block, his turnaround, no good. Rebound, Gardner. I think the length of Gardner made a difference that time.
Absolutely did.
Gardner, pull-up three, inside the volleyball lines, no. Rebound tipped alive, out to number 12, Haynes. Now Gardner's got it. He works his way in, no good. Rebound by Hughley, put back good. You give them that many looks, they're going to hit them. Edwards, Scott, pull-up, no. Rebound, Hughley. Gives it out to Haynes. Haynes to Gardner. Gardner to Rayford Washington. Garrett Sanderson comes to the scorer's table. He won't be the only one. Nate Bradley to the scorer's table.
Foul's going to be on Renee Scott.
So Renee Scott picks up the foul. 5:11 to go in the opening half. 30-14, Faulkner leads. This is the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle basketball.
Pizza for $5? Pizza for $5. Hot and ready pizza for $5. That's Little Caesars guaranteed. Hot and ready pizzas every single day for $5. They're delivered to campus right here at Faulkner University. Order one or get enough for everybody. Call 334-272-4595 or stop by their location at 5853 Atlanta Highway in East Dale Square.
The Faulkner family is so proud to again partner with Wells Printing. They can meet virtually every print need from commercial and wide format printing to promotional products and apparel. They even do full service mailing and distribution. For all of your promotional and print needs, make the right call and stand out with Wells. Call Amanda at 334-270-9481 or 334-324-0864.
All right, nobody with more than 6 points in this one. Antonio Gardner leading Carver right now. Milan Skundrich, Renee Scott with 6 apiece for Faulkner. It's a 16-point Eagle lead with 5:11 to go in the opening half. To the free throw line steps Rayford Washington. Dribbles with his right hand, set, shoots, first one goes, cuts it to 30-15. The 5 on the floor right now for Faulkner are Adnan Halilovic, Marco Kosic, Nate Bradley, Garrett Sanderson, Nico Gonzalez, our first time calling his name today, and I feel like I'm missing a 5th one. I don't know, that may have been 5, who knows. Nate Bradley over to Marco Kosic. Kosic to Halilovic. Halilovic back out to Bradley. Bradley right wing, Sanderson gives it up to Halilovic. Halilovic to Bradley. Shot clock inside 10. Bradley approaches, works around to his right, tries to get it to Sanderson. It's tipped alive. He controls it, gets the 3 up at the shot clock, draws the iron, and goes out of bounds. Hadn't been able to talk about Nico Gonzalez much from Madrid, Spain, a 6'7" junior forward. That means that I think everybody who's dressed today has been in the game.
I believe so.
Across the timeline, Rayford Washington against Marco Kosic. Working around to the left. Gives it up. Long pass. Hughley down low. The turnaround shot no good for the long-armed one, Murdy Mangozi. Kosic, right wing, Bradley. Halilovic working left side, gives it up to Bradley. His runner good. So Bradley, bit of a scoring burst off the bench for him so far. He's got 6. Gardner down low, Mangozi. Mangozi walks. That is not allowed.
No, we got a foul.
Oh, they're going to call the foul before the walk.
Foul on Halilovic.
Call it on Adnan Halilovic.
Will be 1-1 at the free throw line for Carver.
Halilovic checks out. Trace Hill checks in. So a smaller lineup now. The 6'7" forward, Nico Gonzalez is really the only true big in there, if he's even that. I think he's more of a wing. Back iron, rebound, Garrett Sanderson. Looks like they may go a little quicker, you would think, here.
You would think they'd go a little quicker. One thing Faulkner has is they've got the ability to be able to almost play a lot of that positionless basketball that we see so much today in this lineup.
Trace Hill splits the defense, back out. Nico Gonzalez pulls the three, no. Rebound Mongozi. You're right on, David. Like, they've got several guys that can play at least 3 spots on the floor. Rayford Washington drives all the way in, layup right hand, good.
It's a good tough take by Washington. He tucks it, puts it over the outstretched hands of Kosic to lay it in.
32-18, Kosic splits the defense, gets fouled, but Mongozi for good measure said, you're not getting the and one.
Wiped that one out from the sky.
Yeah. Marco Kosic to the line to shoot 2. 32-18 is the Faulkner lead with 3:12 to go in the opening half of this one. First shot up, no good. Kosic awaits to shoot the second. Dribbles with the right hand, sets it, shoots it, and good. 33-18 is the lead for Faulkner.
Kosic splits the first pair of free throws he's taken on the season.
Well, there you go. Getting some valuable minutes for the bench here in this one. Rayford Washington working against Kosic. Sends it down left block. Turnaround jumper, no good. And what a fight for the ball that was. Garrett Sanderson caught the ball and caught a player on the way down.
Jump ball, it'll be Faulkner basketball. A great effort by Sanderson. I was afraid they'd get him on the foul. As you mentioned, he did grab the player coming down.
Yeah, Sanderson got a rebound and the Russian leg sweep. Across the timeline is Kosic. Left wing. Gives it up to Trace Hill. Trace Hill to Bradley. Bradley loses control of it, but a foul call.
Get a reach on number 12 of Carver. That is
Jesse Haynes.
Yes, it is.
Jesse Haynes. (33-18) is the lead. 2:41 to go. Actually, we had it on Jesse Haynes. I think it was on Marco, not Marco, but on Murdy Mongozi, number 21. So Murdy Mongozi with the foul there. Garrett Sanderson inbounds it off the back of Trace Hill, who was not looking. And here comes Glenn Sims all the way. Rejection by Garrett Sanderson.
That was a volleyball spike.
And the two-man game, Trace Hill gives it right back to Kosic, who lays it in. The lead is 17.
Great 2-on-1 break there for the Eagles, passing back and forth.
You want to talk about energy? What about Garrett Sanderson, the energy he's bringing up? He's down in the 5 spot right now.
He's provided a lot of energy this game.
Kosic, the steal, lay-in by Hill, and one. The Eagles are running right now.
Good look-ahead pass by Kosic, and good job by Hill to take the contact, make the bucket, and get this opportunity for the and one.
Kosic came away with the steal, the long pass to Hill. He went up with it, laid it in through that contact, 37-18. He makes this one, and the lead is 20. And this is all the bench unit.
We've seen the energy that this bench has provided here in this first half alone.
Rebound almost controlled by Sanderson.
Sanderson knocks it out of bounds off of Carver.
Garrett Sanderson. He is doing a little bit of everything right now.
Think we unplugged the shot clock.
We've unplugged the shot clock. Somewhere Hal Wynn is angry.
It's still working.
Hand to forehead for the athletic director.
They just unplugged it. They just unplugged it.
Not this again.
Yeah.
37-18, 2:05 to go in the half. Sanderson inbounds it to Bradley. Up top to Kosic. Kosic works around to the left, sends it out to Hill. Hill drives in, right-hand layup. He drove it on the entire institution of Carver Bible College that time.
And they let him.
Steal, Nate Bradley forces the issue. He's got Sanderson, doesn't need it, lays it in with the right hand. Went up like he was going to dunk, and then just kind of dropped it in gracefully. 41-18 is the lead.
That's what you do when you're not quite sure if you got the ball or not.
Kosich D's up Rayford Washington. The lead is 23. Washington comes around left side, gives it off to Gardner. Gardner working against Bradley. Now he gets help. Back up top, Rayford Washington, three, in and out. And look at Hepburn take the rebound away from Kosich and put it back in.
Took it right out of Kosich's hands, lays it back up and in.
Kosich now working against Sims. Trace Hill with it against Washington, gives it off to Gonzalez. Bradley back out to Kosich. Kosich out to Hill. Shot clock at 13. Hill works around to the right, pulls it from the corner. No, rebound skied forward by Jesse Haynes.
Length of Hepburn bothered Hill on that shot, you could tell.
Rayford Washington all the way in with the right hand, cuts it back down to 19. Game clock's at 38, shot clock's at 26. Kosich to Bradley. Got Gonzalez if he wants him. He takes it, swings it over Garrett Sanderson. He pulls the three, yes. Garrett Sanderson. Almost lost it, did Sims, and now Trace Hill comes away with it.
Sanderson tipped that shot or pass inside.
Yeah, Sanderson tipped it alive, and Hill got it. Give the steal to whoever you want to that time. Game clock down to 7. Shot clock is off. Kosich around to the left, sends it to the right. Gardner tips it alive. Hill's got it, pulls it from the volleyball lines. No. Almost, but no. We head to the half. Faulkner up 44-22. David, right before we head out, pace, ball movement, really the key this half.
It has been, especially for the Eagles, to get the ball and rip it on, get it on these rebounds and run it out. And Coach Sanderson, that's what he's imploring these guys to do, get up the court and get some of these open baskets as they've been able to get here in the first half.
All right, this is the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle basketball. At halftime, Eagles lead 44-22. We're back with you in about 10 minutes here on the Faulkner Sports Network.
Maybe you need to update your life insurance coverage. Perhaps you're thinking about retirement. It could be an accident or a cancer policy that you're seeking. Whatever your insurance needs, make sure that you're covered at a rate that makes sense for you and your family. That's where Ronnie Paulk and Benefit Planners can help. Call Ronnie or Brian at 334-495-7476. Call Benefit Planners and make sure that your family is covered. You can support Faulkner University athletics and have a great day of golf at the same time. The 6th annual Eagles for Eagles golf tournament is set for Friday, November 2nd at the Lagoon Park Golf Course. The event has 2 flights and cost is as low as $150 per individual. Find out more by contacting Joey Wigginton at jwigginton@faulkner.edu. That's JWIGINTON at faulkner.edu.
Odds are you've never seen service like what you'll see when you go into Don Duncan's All-American Auto and Tire. They rotate your tires and vacuum out your vehicle just because you came in for an oil change. And if you call Nathan at the downtown Montgomery location at 334-263-3872, he'll pick up your car and bring it back to you when the job is done. They've got 3 locations to serve you, and they'll give you 10% off with your Faulkner ID. Don Duncan's All-American Auto and Tire, downtown Montgomery, the corner of Bell and Vaughn and Millbrook.
Okay, so it's a given that they've got the catchiest jingle of all time. But Cook's has used reliable, affordable, expert service to become #1 in the pest control business. Nobody wants the uninvited guests at their game day parties. Call Cook's Pest Control to handle the problem outside before it moves its way inside. Call Mike at 334-273-8873 and get a free quote today. Assure your team's victory this season. Buy a dozen Jack's biscuits starting at just $15. Mix and match until you get the combination just right. After all, football is better with Jack's. Order ahead at eatatjacks.com. Score big this football season. Maybe you need a loan to help you slide behind the wheel of that new ride. Perhaps it's a home loan or a HELOC you're seeking. Guardian Credit Union can help. With competitive interest rates on every loan product, Guardian is here to serve you with an unparalleled level of customer service, state-of-the-art online banking, and locations all over Montgomery.
For the best in starters, salads, steaks, ribs, country dinners, and more, saddle up after the game and head on over to Texas Roadhouse, located at 7525 East Chase Parkway in Montgomery. You can even take your Faulkner game ticket, and Faulkner alumnus Trey 2 will gladly give you 10% off your bill. Call him for your catering needs at 334-396-7774 or go by and throw back a few peanuts while you wait on your meal. Texas Roadhouse, located in East Chase across from Target.
From hand-breaded chicken fingers and fried chicken to delicious sides and scratch-made biscuits, Jack's has all the ingredients to make your next tailgate legendary. Football is just better with Jack's, so order ahead at eatatjacks.com and score big this season. Whether you're making the trip to see the Eagles play in person, coming into town to visit your favorite Faulkner student, or having the family in from out of town, Drury Inn & Suites is Faulkner's #1 place to stay in Montgomery. Drury offers a full free breakfast and dinner with your stay and caters to your needs with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. They're pet friendly and offer a great Faulkner rate. They've even got indoor and outdoor pool options. Call them at 334-273-1101 to book your stay today.
Wells Printing is so much more than just a print shop. Not only did they print up our Faulkner football game tickets, but they also carry Faulkner polos and Comfort Colors t-shirts, as well as those awesome baseball caps and stadium seats. For any and all printing and promotional item needs, call Amanda at 334-270-9481 or 334-324-0864. Nobody does service like Don Duncan's All-American Auto and Tire. That's not just hyperbole. With every oil change, they'll rotate your tires and vacuum out your car. That, Faulkner fans, is service. Show your Faulkner ID and get 10% off your purchase. Don Duncan's All-American Auto and Tire. Downtown Montgomery, at the corner of Bell and Vaughn, and in Millbrook. Wherever you are in your financial needs, Guardian Credit Union can probably help. From auto to home to signature loans, Guardian has the best rates you'll find anywhere. They even do credit cards with no annual fees. Join today and get your Eagle credit or debit card. With locations all over Montgomery, Guardian Credit Union is here to serve.
Everyone knows Jason's Deli has the best salad bar in Montgomery. Everyone also knows Jason's Deli has the best sandwiches in town. And, of course, everyone knows Jason's Deli has the best ice cream anywhere. But did you know that Jason's Deli's manager is also named Jason? Give him a call at 334-409-9898, or, better yet, just go by and see him at 1520 Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery.
Located on Boyd Cooper Parkway in East Chase, Candlewood Suites is one of the premier lodging destinations in Montgomery. All rooms are big enough for the whole family, and they offer a super rate for Faulkner folks. Next time you're in town to see the Eagles play in person, book your stay at Candlewood Suites of East Chase Park. Call 334-277-0677 and have a super night's sleep.
for it. Yeah, true. All right, here we go. 44-22, Faulkner leading Carver College as we're ready to start this second half. David, very balanced scoring across the board for the Eagles in the first half.
Very balanced scoring. Faulkner's actually being paced by Trace Hill with 9 coming off the bench, but they've got 5 guys with at least 6. So, as you said, great balanced scoring for this Faulkner basketball team. 22 rebounds for the Eagles as opposed to 17 for the Cougars from Carver Bible College.
One of the things they talked about coming into the game, Drew Sims told us one of their goals, or Drew Wilson, sorry, Drew Sims. He's good too, I like him. But Drew Wilson told us that their goal was to hold Carver to 37% or less from the floor. Right now, Carver's shooting 25% from the floor. So
right now, mission accomplished in a big way for this Faulkner defense that has been everywhere this first half.
Rayford Washington will inbound the basketball, and the second half is underway. Out of the backcourt with it comes Glenn Sims, sends it over the left side, Markel Gibson. Gibson over to Washington. Washington back up to Jesse Haynes and swings it out. Rayford Washington settles with it on the right-hand side, gives it to Antonio Gardner. He puts a good move on Skundrich, gets around him, shot won't go. Rebound controlled by Faulkner. Sean Edwards pushes the pace. Renee Scott to C.J. Jones, back to Edwards. Skundrich all alone down low. He's fouled, no call, and he missed that shot. So an easy bunny turned into nothing for Faulkner.
Faulkner didn't make him pay for being 5-on-4 as Gardner was on the floor, on the court at the other end for a while.
The 5 for Faulkner: Jones, Edwards, Scott, Halilovic, and Skundrich. Gardner puts a move on Skundrich, who knocks the ball away. Scott comes up with the loose ball, out to Skundrich. Right side, Sean Edwards, 3, yes.
Rhythm
Sean
3 for Edwards.
He's got 8.
Carver being led in scoring by Rayford Washington. Hepburn and Gardner each have 6.
Rebound Skundrich off that miss. Scott gives it to Edwards. Edwards, Skundrich down low, Halilovic, easy bucket, and he's got it. So a nice assist for Skundrich. Adnan Halilovic gets the shot. He's now in the scoring column. 18:44 to go in the second half, and a quick timeout forced on the part of Carver. This is the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle basketball.
For the best in starters, salads, steaks, ribs, country dinners, and more, saddle up after the game and head on over to Texas Roadhouse, located at 7525 East Chase Parkway in Montgomery. You can even take your Faulkner game ticket, and Faulkner alumnus Trey 2 will gladly give you 10% off your bill. Call him for your catering needs at 334-396-7774, or go by and throw back a few peanuts while you wait on your meal. Texas Roadhouse, located in East Chase across from Target.
So the quick timeout forced by Faulkner. Carver now down 49-22. Rayford Washington with the ball, left wing. Up top, Antonio Gardner. Gardner works around to the right side. That's Markel Gibson with the basketball. Gibson D'd up by Edwards, gives it back to Washington, who faces Scott. Washington works around to the left, gives it back to Gardner. Gardner trying to drive in, spin move, comes around. Nice pass down low to Rayford Washington, who bodies up and gets the shot up just before the shot clock, and it goes.
Great look in by Gardner right there to get that relatively easy bucket for Washington.
C.J. Jones, left wing, drives in, gives it to Skundrich. He puts it in, 51-24.
One good pass deserves another here in this ball game, apparently.
Ball movement fantastic for Faulkner right now. Gardner working against Skundrich. Pull-up jumper baseline, no. Rebound Halilovic. Scott with it across the timeline. Looking for help. He's got a screen from Halilovic. He'll give it to Sean Edwards. He drives baseline, sends it out left corner. C.J. Jones, three, no. Rayford Washington with it. He falls down. Loose ball. C.J. Jones has it. He'll go all the way in, and he's fouled. Rayford Washington upset because he was taken down from behind, and there was no call. 51-24 with 17:26 to go in the second half. Jacob Spence will check in now for Faulkner. They need a towel to dry the floor. Have one thrown in here. Drew Wilson will handle the towel duties. Scott Sanderson giving instructions to Renee Scott. They want to push the tempo against this Carver team.
He's telling his big guys to get up and down the floor. He said, I've got another one that's going to get you when you get tired, so let's just run while you're in.
Yeah. I really like that strategy on the part of Sanderson. You know, we've got depth. Don't be afraid to use it.
Right, absolutely.
C.J. Jones will shoot the free throws. The first one up and good. 52-24 is the lead. Spence checks in. Halilovic checks out. Gets a standing greeting from the bench. Halilovic with a couple of really good minutes there. The shot from C.J. Jones forthcoming is up and good. 53-24 is the Faulkner lead. 17:22 to go in the second half. Gibson gives it up to Rayford Washington. He pulls the three. Yes, Rayford Washington's a ball player.
He is, and he stepped up today without Carver having their leading scorer, pacing the Cougars with points.
C.J. Jones answers with a three of his own. So Washington's got 13. C.J. Jones now with 5. Gardner working down low against Skundrich. Drives in, a lot of contact, loses it. Spence comes up with it, gives it to Renee Scott. He gives it to Skundrich all the way in. Look at the move from Skundrich. 58-27.
Good pass by Scott. Good footwork there by Skundrich not to travel to get the ball back up for the layup.
Drives in, and the foul on the floor on Sean Edwards. Sean Edwards, a 5'10 guard from Madison, Alabama, transfer from Freed-Hardeman University. 4 players to the bench to check in. Nate Bradley, Garrett Sanderson, Marco Kasic, and Trace Hill will check in a moment. The first free throw up and good for Haynes.
It's a group that brought so much energy in the first half for this Eagle basketball team. Going back to the first half numbers, the points off turnovers were big. 13 of those for Faulkner, only 3 for Carver. And, of course, the bench points were huge, 27 for Faulkner and 2 for Carver College.
Inbound will come as it was tipped out of bounds by Carver. The inbound will come from Trace Hill. 58-28 is the lead with 16:29 to play in the game. Marco Kasic across the timeline. He is shadowed by Glenn Sims. Kasic gives it up. Nate Bradley. Nate Bradley working around to the right. Pull-up jumper, good. Nate Bradley, 60-28 is the lead. Nate Bradley now in double figures. Pass down low to Gardner. He's D'd up by Trace Hill. Hill leans on him. Gardner works his way for that bucket. Had to work hard for it, but he got it.
Had to use that length to get around the backboard and basket to get the open look.
Kasic with the basketball. D'd up by Glenn Sims. Gives it up Garrett Sanderson. He's called for a walk. (60-30) as the Faulkner lead. 15:46 to go in the game. Inbound comes to Glenn Sims. He'll go across the timeline, sends it out to, first time we've been able to call his name, Kevin Akinmoyo. Maybe we called it right. Gardner sends it over to Sims. He drives baseline, puts it up, and one.
Good low dribble there by Sims to get it through that Faulkner defense for that shot to go up and in.
60-32, 15 and a half to play. Jacob Spence checks out. Luka Dimitrovic checks in. David, we had a 10-day stretch of no games. Got back into action on Tuesday with the win over Thomas University for the men, the win over Pensacola Christian for the women. And now we are back onto more of a regular schedule as that free throw goes. So we'll be back here Thursday night for the conference opener against Bethel. Bradley, 3, off the pass from Kosic, no good. Sims with the rebound across the timeline. Gives it up, right wing, that's Iverson out of the corner. Back to Sims, over to Gardner. Gardner splits the defense, goes in, and I'm guessing a travel, that is the call.
Travel, took one too many steps there.
60-33, 15:05 to go in the game.
But he said James Harden does it every day and doesn't get called.
It's true. You're also not James Harden. Dimitrovic dumps it down to Hill. He lays it in. He's got 11. That's 3 Eagles in double figures now.
Great pass by Dimitrovic into Trace Hill right there.
Left wing. Iverson gives it to Gardner. Gardner working against Hill, and he's called for a travel. Gardner wants to know what he's allowed to do. The answer's not that. 62-33, 14:41 to play in the game. Joel Harrison, the assistant women's basketball coach I see over there in the stands. I'm surprised he's not somewhere watching his beloved Ohio State Buckeyes. Luka Dimitrovic gives it up to Garrett Sanderson over to the right wing. Marco Kosic back up to Nate Bradley, swings it over to Sanderson. Look at the ball movement and the player movement. Hill to Bradley. This is when Faulkner's so dangerous. Hill gets it, works around left side. Garrett Sanderson, 3. Yes, and 1. Garrett Sanderson, the 3 and 1. That's now 4 Eagles in double figures, am I right? Yes, 4 Eagles in double figures.
You're right, seeing that player movement, ball movement, working off the screens, having the down screens, players coming up off of those. When they're moving, it's a good offense to watch.
The 4-point play for Garrett Sanderson. He's got 11. The drive, no, but the foul on the floor, so Glenn Sims will go to the line. The call is on Marco Kosic. This is not one of those games where you're going to have a 20-point score, most likely. But, David, look at the balance. You got 4 Eagles in double figures. You got another sitting on 8, 1 on 6, and 1 on 5. It's
just a continuation of what we saw in the first half of that great balanced scoring, which I'm sure is what Coach Sanderson loves to see, is you don't have to have one guy that get all the buckets. If you're getting 4 and 5 guys that are scoring, makes it a whole lot tougher to defend that way.
Glenn Sims missed the first free throw, hits the second. 66-34 is the Faulkner lead with 14:12 to play. Marco Kosic across the timeline gives it up to Trace Hill. Trace Hill over to Marco Kosic. Works to his right, back to his left, back to Trace Hill. He's got to collect it. Now gives it to Luka Dimitrovic. Dimitrovic goes all the way in, and there's a foul call on the floor. A hack against Paul Hepburn. Luka Dimitrovic will go to the line. Dimitrovic's first free throw is good. That's now 10 different Faulkner players that have scored today. Dimitrovic misses that one. Hepburn with the rebound, gives it off to Glenn Sims across the timeline. Down low to Iverson in the corner. Iverson to Gardner. Gardner working against Dimitrovic. That shot up, no good. Rebound Garrett Sanderson. Sanderson across the timeline, pushes the pace. Marco Kosic goes all the way in. Was going to dunk it, got hit as he went up, laid it in. 69-34. Glenn Sims backs it out, resets the offense. The lead is 35 for the Eagles. Sanderson steps in. Hepburn pushes it down low. Trace Hill defends. Luka Dimitrovic rebounds the miss. Nate Bradley with it, gives it up to Kosic. Kosic, Hill, thought about it, and you're going to get a 5-second call. Oh, they want to reset the shot clock here. That's what it is.
Run pop down here for CJ. Pop down.
We're going to go sideline out, shot clock at 24. Getting it all sorted out. Dimitrovic checks out. Sean Edwards, Milan Skundrich, C.J. Jones, Adnan Halilovic, and Nico Gonzalez. So 4 of the 5 starters on the floor. The lone starter not out there, Renee Scott, Faulkner's leading scorer. Inbound to Skundrich, gives it to C.J. Jones. Jones pulls the 3 with a hand in his face, no good. Skundrich skies for the rebound, can't get it. He fouls Hepburn in the process.
Jones couldn't quite get the handle on the ball on the pass and made it a tougher shot in possession than it could have been.
13:02 to play. Across the timeline comes Rayford Washington. Gives it up to Iverson. He's defended by Gonzalez. Pass down low, Washington, back out. The drive, the layup, no good for Gardner, but he's fouled. Game's kind of bogged down in the middle part of this half.
It has.
All that pace that we had in the first half has sort of disappeared here.
Whistles have begun to overtake that pace to a large degree.
Antonio Gardner steps to the line. His shot up and good. 69-35 is the lead for Faulkner. 12:44 to play in the game. Gardner, second shot up and good. 69-36. Edwards across the timeline, gives it up to Skundrich. Right wing to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, entry pass. Halilovic, layup, no good. Tipped alive by Skundrich, but Gardner controls it. Nice pass by Gonzalez. They just didn't get the bucket.
Great pass by Gonzalez.
Rayford Washington passes it over to Marco Hughley. Hughley back to Gardner. He pulls the 3 and good. So Gardner steps into that one. He's in double figures. He's got 13. One of 2 Cougars in double figures. Across the timeline is Edwards to Skundrich. Back to Halilovic. He pulls the 3. It's deflected by Hepburn, so the block for Hepburn. Gardner pulls the 3, no good. Rebound Iverson. Put back, no. Tipped alive, rebound Hepburn. No, Gonzalez with the rebound. He gives it to Edwards. Left wing, C.J. Jones, 3, yes. That one was on rhythm.
It was. Stepped right into it. Good shot by Jones on the wing there. Good look by Edwards on the break.
Edwards and Jones each have 8. There are 4 Eagles in double figures. Left wing, Iverson. Sends it down low, Washington. Turnaround, no good. Halilovic, the rebound. Here's C.J. Jones with the ball. Long throw, and the alley-oop and the dunk for Milan Skundrich. He's flagged him coming down the floor. Jones picked him up.
He did. Good look by Jones there. Good awareness by Skundrich to get to the rim. Noticing nobody's paying attention to you running the floor.
Tipped free by Edwards. He'll catch the long pass from Jones. Lays it up off the backboard. The oop off the backboard and the dunk for Skundrich. Faulkner's having fun now. The lead is 76-39. Gardner with the ball up around the volleyball lines. He'll give it up to Iverson. Iverson off to Rayford Washington. Washington working around left side. Sean Edwards D's him up. Tries to split the defense, can't do it. Edwards with the steal. He'll push the issue, pull it up from 3. Yes! Sean Edwards is in double figures. That's 5 for the Eagles in double figures. Nate Bradley's going to check back in. 5 Eagles in double figures. Carver has seen enough. 79-39, David.
Yeah, they saw that between that dunk and that 3 there in transition. They decided to take a timeout. Let's talk a few things over. Try to limit some of this transition, I'm sure, for this Faulkner Eagle basketball team here.
79-39 is the advantage for Faulkner. 5 Eagles in double figures. C.J. Jones is 1 bucket short of being in double figures. Renee Scott is 4 points off of being in double figures. So I think the starter's probably done for this one. No reason for them to come back out up 40. So we'll see what the bench unit can do the rest of the way as Monte Sanford gives us the word, starters done. They got the conference opener Thursday night.
Get their legs some rest. Let them get back to it. Practice here at the beginning of the week. Get ready for this conference opener.
(79-39), 10:08 to play. Inbound here. First time we've been able to call the name of Jordan Johnson. He's got the basketball. Gardner with it now. Over to Marco Hughley. Left wing to Johnson. Down low to Hepburn. Hepburn spins it around. Sends it right wing. Stolen by Trace Hill. He'll go all the way. Lay in no good, but he's fouled.
Hill kind of lost the dribble there as he was coming up the court. Otherwise, I think he would have laid it in before the defense ever got there.
Yeah. So Trace Hill, he's got 11. He'll step to the line. Hill is a 6'3" freshman guard from Hartselle. His first shot is good. Hill's second free throw. No good. Rebounded by Gardner. So Hill has got 12. He's the second leading scorer for Faulkner. And Spence with the steal. Hill the long pass to Bradley. So Trace Hill with the assist. Nate Bradley the lay-in. Nate Bradley's got 12 now. Gardner working around the top of the key, face up with Hill. He gives it up. Now it's Julian Fuller with the ball, back to Gardner. Looking for some help. Tipped away, the steal by Garrett Sanderson. Sanderson the pass to Bradley. Back to Hill. It's rejected by Gardner. Bradley entry pass off the foot of a Carver player. So you had a Garrett Sanderson steal, and then you had a block from behind by Gardner off the shot attempt by Trace Hill.
That was great defense by Sanderson there, just to kind of bait Gardner into that turnover, a little sense of time there, and he just takes the ball from him.
Inbound to Bradley. He finds Marco Kosic. Kosic, he's got a screen either way. He goes right. Now back to Trace Hill. Hill, right wing. The 3 from Sanderson goes in and out, and then no good. It was tipped in by Spence, but waved off. That 3 hung on that rim forever.
It did. Going to get the over the back on Spence there on the rebound.
82-39 is the advantage for Faulkner. 8:44 to play in the game. Nico Gonzalez comes to the scorer's table. Fuller to Gardner. Gardner drives in. He's called for the walk. Spin move without the dribble. Not allowed.
Never established a pivot foot to be able to do any of that. So he'll get hit with the turnover, and Faulkner will inbound. Hill will inbound the ball to Kosic,
who was not ready for it.
He was not.
Kosic chases it down back to Hill. Hill to Jacob Spence. Spence to Nico Gonzalez. His 3, no. The bench rose up. They wanted it for him. Nate Bradley with the ball now. Trace Hill, left wing from Kosic, no. Rebound Spence, put back, yes! Jacob Spence is in the scorer's book. There's only one Faulkner Eagle that hadn't scored today. Spence, a 6'8 center from Fernandina Beach, Florida. Easy for me to say. Rebound by Trace Hill, but a foul on the floor.
We're seeing more energy from the second unit here in the second half. They get a rebound. They're not looking to do anything but get out and run the ball. Put it down this Cougar's throat here at the end of the ball game.
Fuller to the line, 84-39. Fuller trying to get his team to the 40 mark, and he does. (84-40). And a tech. It's a team tech and a personal on Gardner, I think it is. So Gardner gets the personal foul and the tech. He was mouthing while Fuller was at the line shooting free throws. Nico Gonzalez misses the first free throw. Nico Gonzalez will shoot the second technical free throw. That one's good. Now every Faulkner Eagle has scored today. It's a pretty good stat line.
Pretty good stat line.
So 85-40. Luka Dimitrovic will check in. Jacob Spence will come out. Fuller will go to the line where he was a moment ago before that little transaction. Misses it. Rebound Trace Hill. Gives it over to Bradley. Bradley across the timeline. Left wing. Marco Kosic thought about it, and it was the defense from Jordan Johnson that made him pull it down, and he traveled.
Good flash out there on the wing by Johnson to force that hesitation in the shot, which led to the turnover on Kosic.
7:43 to play. 85-40 is the lead for Faulkner over Carver. Left wing is Fuller. He sends it up top to Marco Hughley. Right wing now down into the corner. Fuller's got it, dribbling through defenders. Long pass Johnson, wide open three, no. Rebound tipped alive, controlled by number 10, Kevin Akinmoyo, and then he throws it out of bounds.
Throws it to Johnson, who was not quite ready for the ball yet.
So 85-40 is the lead. Faulkner with the ball. Across the timeline comes Marco Kosic. Goes over left wing to Bradley. Bradley to Dimitrovic. Dimitrovic, Kosic. Kosic down low to Bradley. Bradley passes it back to Dimitrovic. What an assist for Nate Bradley. Dimitrovic got the points, 87-40. Shot clock at 16. Akinmoyo's shot misses. Fuller with the rebound. Haynes with the ball. He passes to Fuller, yes. So the assist to Haynes. Fuller with the layup. 87-42 is the score.
Good look inside there to Haynes for that nice little layup.
Trace Hill to Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez working against Fuller, gives it up to Bradley. A little shake and bake, does nothing with it. He'll dribble it back out. Looks around. He's got a screen if he wants it. He'll pick it up, drives in, layup no good. A travel called before the shot. 87-42. Now the score. .6:18 to play in the game. Faulkner up by 45. A lot of minutes out of the bench unit today, as Faulkner has led big for most of this one.
Honestly, been a bench-driven game for the Eagles here this afternoon.
Yeah, you need those every now and again when you're playing this schedule.
Absolutely.
Left wing to Fuller. Fuller up top to Johnson. Johnson face up with Nico Gonzalez, goes right wing. Jesse Fuller dribbles in, gives it up to Haynes. Haynes sends it over to number 4, Glenn Sims. He loses it, gets it back. Fuller, the jumper, good. A little leaner from Fuller that time. Marko Kosic loses the ball. Johnson's got it. Luka Dimitrovic is the only Eagle back. Johnson misses it. Fuller rebounds it, and you're going to get a goaltend on Garrett Sanderson, it looks like.
Yeah, the ball hit the backboard before Sanderson got it. So it'll be a goaltend on him.
87-46, 5:39 to play in the game. Got a timeout on the floor. I think this is our media timeout. We'll take it with them. This is the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle basketball.
Wells Printing is so much more than just a print shop. Not only did they print up our Faulkner football game tickets, but they also carry Faulkner polos and Comfort Colors t-shirts, as well as those awesome baseball caps and stadium seats. For any and all printing and promotional item needs, call Amanda at 334-270-9481 or 334-324-0864.
Assure your team's victory this season. Buy a dozen Jack's biscuits starting at just $15. Mix and match until you get the combination just right. After all, football is better with Jack's. Order ahead at eatatjacks.com and score big this football season.
$5:39 to go in the game. Faulkner up 87-46. They've got the basketball. They've been in control for all of this one. Trace Hill and Nico Gonzalez. Left wing, Nate Bradley. Bradley to Gonzalez, back over to Hill. Hill down low to Bradley, tips it out to Sanderson. 3, no. Tipped alive by Dimitrovic. Sanderson chases down on his own rebound. To Dimitrovic, puts it on the floor, loses it out of bounds, but it goes off of Carver.
That's what you like to see. The guy who shot the ball chase it down at half court to get the rebound, secure it for your team.
Sanderson has been nothing but energy today. 11 points and 6 boards for him. He's listed at 6'4", but he's not. And he has played like he's about 6'7".
He really has.
Trace Hill, top of the key. Gives it up to Sanderson. Corner 3, good. Sanderson's got 14. A right wing is Fuller. Passes it down low. Now back up to Haynes. Haynes thinks about it. Chooses not to. Down low to the cutting player. That's Glenn Sims. Sims gives it up to Johnson. Back to Sims. Calling for a screen. Gets it. Splits 2 defenders. Drives in. Loses the ball, but contact. Dimitrovic gets his third. 3 Eagles now have 3. That's Skundrich, Dimitrovic, and Spence. All with 3. Nobody else has that many for Faulkner. To the line goes Sims. First free throw rattles in. 90-46 is the score. 4:31 to play in this one.
We talked about the pace of the first half, Jeremy. The second half seems like it's taking a little bit longer.
Yep, no real pace here. Lots of stoppages. Luka Dimitrovic, left wing. Fires it down low to Bradley. He lays it up and good. So Dimitrovic with the assist. Nate Bradley now has 14.
Good cut by Bradley to get that open look.
Left wing Johnson. Up top, Fuller. Unnecessary juking, and then he hits the layup.
I don't know that he expected to hit that shot.
I don't think he did. 92-50, 3:59 to play. Trace Hill attacks, kicks right wing. Garrett Sanderson 3, no. Fuller chases down the rebound. 3:45 to play. Fuller with the basketball, right wing.
Good stop defensively by Gonzalez there to limit the fast break opportunity for Carver.
Dimitrovic with the steal. Throws it off the head of Nico Gonzalez. Fuller comes up with a loose ball, splits the defense, lays it in. Nico Gonzalez was frustrated. He didn't know the ball was coming. I don't think it was intended for him either.
I don't think it was. I think Kosic was on the other side of him and just hit him in the head on the way.
Sanderson drives baseline, fires it to Bradley. Nico Gonzalez, three, no. Rebound to Fuller. Fuller across the timeline, gives it up right wing. 3 minutes to play. Kosic and Spence come to the scorer's table. Johnson's three from the wing, no good. Rebound, Luka Dimitrovic gives it to Bradley. Bradley over to Hill. Hill will push the issue, split the defense, lose the ball. Fight for the loose ball. Haynes comes away with it. He loses it. Dimitrovic has it. He'll give it to Hill. No good. It went in and out. Akinmoyo with the rebound. The other way comes Sims. He's denied. We have devolved into insanity. Sanderson called for the foul. 92-52, 2.5 to play in the game. Sims steps to the line. He has 6. Give him 7. Spence and Kosic check in for Faulkner. In for Carver's Marco Hughley. Out comes Dimitrovic, out comes Sanderson. Sims steps to the line. That one, back iron, no good. Rebound went out to Marco Hughley. He shoots a three, no good. Sims with the rebound, no good. Haynes with the rebound, and he's fouled. We're at the point where the game would not end.
Yeah, we have reached that point of the basketball game where you just can't seem to get this one over with.
Yeah, there's no need to whistle this much in a 40-point game. Haynes misses the first one. It's a 39-point lead for Faulkner, 92-53. Haynes' second free throw is coming. He dribbles, rocks his feet, and shoots. Misses that one. Trace Hill with the rebound. Nate Bradley with the ball. Kosic across the timeline. He'll send it to Spence. Out to Gonzalez. He dribbles around the top of the key, finds Nate Bradley. Bradley to Hill, left wing Kosic, shot clock at 8. Hill gives it to Bradley, shot clock at 5, 4, 3, back to Hill. He pulls it, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds off of the hands of Spence. 92-53, a minute 47 to go in the game.
Solid possession there by Faulkner, just to move the ball around, use the shot clock up, and get a good look there for Hill.
Kosic D's up Fuller. There's the drive in by Hughley. He misses. Rebound by Trace Hill. Boy, he's had several of those. He's at 5 now. Bradley across the timeline. He's met by Sims. Gives it up to Gonzalez. He passes it and then stolen by Fuller. He'll take it the distance. Layup good. 92-55. Marco Kosic across the timeline. Gives it to Hill. Right wing Bradley. His three straight on. No good. Rebound controlled by Johnson. He's fouled by Gonzalez with 56.2 to play. 92-55 is the lead for Faulkner. 56.2 to go in the game. To the line is Jordan Johnson. He's looking for his first point of the day. Or no, his third point. I apologize. He misses that free throw. Every player has scored for Faulkner. There are 5 Eagles in double figures. Johnson's second free throw, no good. Rebound controlled by Trace Hill. He gives it to Nate Bradley. 49 seconds to play. Shot clock's at 21. Bradley working against Fuller. He's got a screen if he wants it. Bradley goes all the way in, and he's fouled by Haynes, because why not?
It's a good way to cap this half with another foul.
I don't think we've had enough. I think we need another foul. You can say this about them. It's a 40-point game, but they're still playing defense. 92-55. That one misses. Nate Bradley has got 14 on the day. Dribbles with the right hand and shoots. Hits the second one. So Bradley now at 15. He ties Skundrich for the team high. Johnson gives it up to Fuller. Shot clock at 15, game clock at 22. Haynes, turnaround, right hand, no. Trace Hill with the rebound. Pretty good line for Hill. He's got 12 points, 7 boards, and 4 assists.
Faulkner just brings the ball up past half court, and they'll let the clock run out here as we're at 5 seconds.
That will cap this one. 93-55. Faulkner defeats Carver College of Atlanta.